Alright, hello guys, welcome to my review of Wednesday, Season 2, Episode 6, Woe Thyself. So yeah, a lot of my predictions are actually starting to come true watching this episode. But we'll see if they'll actually stick. But yeah, the way how they start with this episode where we have like some... it's just so funny seeing this, man. Flipping out. Like flipping, it's kind of obvious this is not the real Wednesday because Cena just so happy and stuff. It's just like, what the hell is this? I was thinking like it's just someone pretending to be Wednesday and just acting all happy-go-lucky. Yeah, it's just so funny how they start the episode like that. Yeah. But yeah, they just ask Wednesday questions and stuff from what happened in the previous episode. Larissa's still saying that, Enid's gonna die and you still have to do things to change her fate. So I guess Wednesday's trying to like get her sight back by going to some other seer that kind of passed away. Yeah, that's like my lights are messing around again. I hate when they do that. It's like I'm in a horror film. But yeah, Pugsley, man. Like, when it comes to Pugsley, I'm just like, oh man, he's like the Eugene of the show at this point. I even hate to say that because his character had potential, but because of what he did in episode 5, yeah, episode 5, letting the zombie get away, Isaac ends up doing something where I'm just like, Pugsley, you're now my worst character of the show because you're the one who created this guy. You brought him back from the dead, and now he's just killing because he was killing off characters who I guess you wouldn't really care about. So now he's actually killing characters that I'm actually sort of caring about, and who knows if he's gonna go up on the list because he's killing people every episode, like Isaac, and he kills one of the I guess cameo characters from the old Addams Family, the 90s movies. The one who kind of played Uncle Fester, like he kills him off in this episode, and I was doing things to make me really like him before they killed him off too, with what happens with Agnes in this episode. But yeah, we're just kind of seeing Tyler with his family, and we find out that Isaac's related to this family, like it's the mum's brother. So Isaac's basically Tyler's uncle, like just those connections. I'm just like, really? That's just stretching. And then you find out that Enid's boyfriend's just not who he says he is. He actually has a other girlfriend, but I don't know what that's about. So unless he's like a gigolo or something. Yeah. And then she just ends up telling Enid that she's an alpha, and that just spooks her. Like, was Tyler's character in this, man? In episode 5, she made Wednesday, and then he flipping tried to like control flipping Tyler, which at the end of the day it's her choice, her dumb choice. And now she's like flipping messing with Enid about being an alpha, because I guess alphas end up alone, and she's not really someone who would want to be alone. So yeah, she's just kind of like messing the mind with everyone, really. Like, it makes me think, is she the villain? And then you get to see the grandma, and I'm just surprised they're still communicating after what happened in the previous episode, and episode 4. Like, I'm surprised you'd get any more advice from her, but I guess she was trying to help your friend, but it ended up leading you to nearly dying by Tyler. So, man. But I guess she gets information. Does she get the information from her, like, of Rosalind and stuff? Yeah, that's kind of her goal, I guess. And then they end up flipping swapping bodies when she goes to Rosalind to summon her. So yeah, it's played by Lady Gaga. Cool. But ends up screwing her over, I guess. And basically switch bodies with Enid, and you just get to see like a flipping Wednesday with emotions and stuff. It's so weird, but it's basically Enid, and Agnes is just so confused too. And you're just seeing flipping her flipping eating something that she doesn't normally eat, and she ends up having a side effect, like she's a flipping vampire or something. Like she gets some kind of rash, but then I guess Patricia kind of helps her with that. And I'm just surprised she doesn't work out that Wednesday is not Wednesday with how she's acting. And everyone's just thinking she's going crazy because she's trying to help Enid, and it's just making her lose her mind. That's what people are just thinking, I guess. Then you just got Enid acting like Wednesday because it's Wednesday. And Larissa, like, it's just because I made like a top 5 wasted characters, and it's just funny, from the dead, Larissa's actually been really helpful, and I'm somewhat kind of getting what I wanted, even though she's not alive, but she's kind of like, I guess, her spiritual guide. Yeah, and I just don't know if like seers can only get that, because I guess it is kind of different from hallucinations, because even Patricia can sense her. Yeah, to the point where she actually can see her. Yeah. And I guess the mum's kind of dying, so Tyler could end up losing his mum again, but then Isaac comes, and he kind of comes to help her by removing her hive powers, I guess. Yeah. So it seems like they're kind of reuniting the family. And I just don't know what would happen to Tyler if Isaac actually did succeed at the end of the episode. Like, because Tyler's not really going to have a master now, so is that just going to make him go crazy again? And go after Enid? Even though Enid's getting stronger because she's revealed as alpha. Yeah. But yeah. Wednesday, as Enid ends up just searching around for more information. Lady Gaga tells her that she's going to die if they stay in those bodies. Their switched bodies. And then Patricia kind of interrogates Enid, even though she's acting like Wednesday. And maybe she does know, but she's just not saying. Maybe she actually is trying to give her boundaries, but I don't know. But she does, I guess she does end up realising it is, Wednesday. Well, Enid's in Wednesday's body, and then she ends up finding like the novel that she was writing before, that Wednesday was writing, and it just made it sound like, she didn't care about Enid at all, and she just gets so pissed from that, she ends up getting the scene that we saw at the beginning where she's just acting so friendly and stuff. It's just, even Bianca's just like, what the hell is this? It's just so cringe. Yeah. But then she ends up flipping, burning off hives or something, or whatever. I don't even know what to call it, because she can't handle too much colour. Like Wednesday's skin, like what the hell is her skin? And it's like all over social media, and then Wednesday's pissed, I guess. And then she ends up just because I think she finds out about from Agnes that she kind of breaks up with her boyfriend, and Enid is kind of pissed about that, even though she doesn't know why Wednesday did that to protect her. Yeah, because she finds out that Enid's boyfriend was with someone else, but I guess we don't know the whole situation, but he's trying to have more than one girlfriend basically. So yeah, but then Enid just says horrible things to Agnes, and she just ends up feeling like, oh man, I guess I got no one after all, and she just disappears. And then she ends up going to this meeting where you see the 90s Uncle Fester kind of having a talk with people who obviously just lost their bodies, but I guess he at least welcomes Agnes because she feels like she's got nothing, I guess. Yeah, she might have all her body parts, but she feels like she doesn't really have anything, I guess. She doesn't have Wednesday. Enid hates her. She just feels like she doesn't have anyone. And she kind of came to Nevermore to, I guess, make friends. Yeah. And I guess the nice Uncle Fester made her feel welcome, even though it was for mainly Finn, because that's what he was here for. Yeah. He wanted to feel whole, even though it's just a hand. Yeah. And that was making me actually really like this character, which Nolan did a little bit with. And yeah, I guess Enid has to handle Wednesday's favourite meal, which just looks disgusting. Because Patricia says it's her favourite meal. And it's like Pugsley and the dad, they seem like they're eating just normal stuff, but they have some neck stuff. Which is funny, I guess. And Larissa ends up being there, and Patricia just realizes she's there, and they end up talking, and she finds out that Wednesday and Enid are, they basically switched bodies and stuff, and that they only have a limited time to switch back, otherwise they're both gonna die. And then Isaac ends up killing, the 90s Uncle Fester, which I just forget his name in this show, but it seems like he was actually becoming a cool character that I'd actually like, but then flipping Isaac ends up killing him, because I guess Isaac is the one who made the machine for him to still be alive as just a head. But I guess he ends up finishing the job and killing him, and Agnes ends up seeing that, so she ends up hiding and just following them to see what their plan is, and then Agnes tells Wednesday and Enid what's going on. And then she hides inside the car, which is so risky. And yeah, it's just, with this information, Pugsley basically created the main villain of the season, because this same villain, Isaac, also killed the person that I thought was the actual main villain. Like, he killed her off, the one who controlled the ravens and stuff. So really, Pugsley created the main threat, because I just wonder how things would have went if, you know, Pugsley never created that zombie. Yeah. I mean, Tyler, the stuff with Tyler, and then the mum, I guess that would still happen, but then the mum would have died, and then I don't know if Tyler just would have went crazy before he would end up dying. So maybe things wouldn't change too much, but having Isaac in the picture has just created a whole lot more problems, and he's just going around killing characters every episode. So I'm just like, bro, this is Pugsley's fault. I mean, I guess Isaac ends up helping his sister get rid of her hive, I think, anyway. But since Wednesday and her friends end up interrupting, and then flipping Wednesday in Enid's body ends up wolfing out, and she just looks way more dangerous than she did in the season 1 finale. Like, Enid's transformation. But I can't tell, just because it might be because of it's Wednesday who's controlling it, and she ends up bringing out like some even stronger version, like flipping, you know, Tyler can't even fight. Like, maybe it's just Enid's power that she has right now, and I guess we'll see if she'll get to use it again. Yeah, since she's alpha. But yeah, they end up going back to the gravesite so they can switch bodies, and they at least have a moment where, because they got to live each other's lives, they're saying things, they're like their weaknesses and strengths and their doubts, fears. They kind of talk about that kind of stuff with, you know, Wednesday with her mother, and, you know, Enid, you know, being alone, and how they'll just, you know, be there for each other. Yeah, because they kind of understand each other a bit more now after being in their bodies, I guess. And then I guess the threat of Enid's possibly stopped, but I guess we'll see. But and then I had a theory before in a previous TikTok video about, yeah, they might have stopped Enid's like from dying, but someone else might die instead, and it would be like an Addams family member. Like I betted like on the mum, like she would end up dying, because I made a reference to like how these writers, Miller and Goff, kind of have done something like this before, where they was able to stop a death like Lana in Smallville, but instead of her dying, like Clark's father died instead, Jonathan Kent. So I don't know if that could end up happening, like they stop Enid from dying, but then, you know, Morticia could end up dying instead. And out of the Addams family members, I hate to say it, but Pugsley is the one who deserves to die, because he's created the main threat that's going around and killing people. And it just feels bad to say that, but he's literally created the main threat of the season. And when I think about it, I think maybe that Raven woman would still be a threat if Pugsley didn't make that zombie. And I just wonder how things still would have went if she was still around. Yeah, because I feel like Tyler still would have flipped out, and then you still would have had her. But Isaac, he seems really smart and stuff, so he could be a lot more dangerous to deal with. Yeah. And yeah, that's really all I got to say. So yeah, good episode. It seems like it's the longest episode of the season, I think. And for just being an episode where it's basically like Freaky Friday, you know, people switching bodies. It kind of does a lot with them understanding each other and their situations, and Enid only just finding out that, you know, she's dying, because she didn't even know the whole time until they've possibly stopped it. But we'll just see how things will go, you know, in the next 2 episodes. Yeah. So I'll probably review the next episode on Friday, and then I'll take a break on Saturday, and then by Sunday, like, I'll have a review for the final episode. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. I'm sure you can leave a like. It was a great episode. I'll see you in the next one. Whoa.